You can't survive on raw food. No other animal has that problem. A wolf eats it raw, a lion eats it raw, a chimp, your closest cousin, eats it raw and lives. You can't. Drop yourself into the wild with nothing cooked, and your body slowly starves on food sitting right in front of you. Something rewired you. Something made you the one creature on Earth that needs heat in its meals to stay alive. So how did one trick turn your ancestors from prey into the thing every animal learned to fear? The textbook version goes like this. One day, a clever ancestor rubbed two sticks together and made fire. The textbook is wrong. For most of the time your ancestors used fire, they couldn't make it at all. They stole it. Deep inside a South African cave called Wonderwork, a team led by Michael Chazon and Leora Kolska-Horwitz found burned bone and ash sitting 30 meters from the entrance, far past where any wildfire could reach. Someone carried that fire in. Someone kept it alive in the dark, and the date on those ashes runs back almost 2 million years, long before anyone could strike a spark. So if they didn't invent fire, what exactly did they do with it? Picture a grass fire dying out on the savanna. The flames are low now, just a line of orange crawling through blackened ground, smoke drifting flat across the plain. Every animal for miles has already run the other way. Antelope, zebra, the big cats, all of them gone, because fire means death and their bodies know it. But one figure walks toward the smoke instead of away from it. Your ancestor crouches at the edge of the burn, reaches into the heat, and lifts out a single branch still glowing at the tip. That's the whole trick. That's what taming fire actually meant, for almost 2 million years. Not making it, catching it. Because here's the part that gets skipped. Your ancestors had no idea how to create a flame from nothing. They couldn't rub two sticks and conjure a spark. That skill came thousands of generations later. What they could do was find fire that nature had already lit, a lightning strike, a brush fire, and carry a burning piece of it home before it died. And then came the hard part, keeping it. A flame left alone goes out in hours. Rain kills it, wind kills it. A long walk kills it. So someone had to feed it, shield it, blow it back to life at dawn, and never, ever let it fully die. Think about what that demands. Not strength, not speed, patience, memory, and a plan that stretches well past today. That's what the ashes deep inside Wonderwork really tell us. Burned bone resting 30 meters underground, in total darkness, far past the reach of any natural blaze, means a living flame was carried into that cave and tended there, day after day, by hands that understood one thing with total clarity. Lose this, and you lose everything. A fire kept alive across generations wasn't a convenience. It was a possession unlike anything else alive on the planet, and what it bought them reached far, far past a single warm night. But here's the part that changes everything. Picture that same plain after the sun goes down. For hundreds of millions of years, the dark belonged to the hunters. Night was when the big cats moved, when eyes you couldn't see watched from the grass, when every creature that wanted to live found a hole, a tree, a crevice, and went silent until dawn. Your ancestors were not at the top of that food chain. They were meat. Slow, soft, easy meat. And the night was the most dangerous place on Earth. Then a ring of fire appeared in the middle of it. Think about what that did. The light pushed the darkness back 10, 20 feet, and inside that circle the rules flipped. A leopard that ruled the night now stopped at the edge of the glow, paced, and would not cross it. The heat warned things off. The smoke confused their noses. The flicker spooked them. For the first time in the history of life, a slow, weak animal owned a piece of the night, and everything with teeth had to wait outside. That circle of light didn't just keep them warmer. It rewrote where they sat in the world, and the change ran deeper than safety, because fire reached into the body itself. Your internal clock, the thing that decides when you feel sleepy and when you feel sharp, got pulled out of shape by all those hours of light after dark. Compared to every primate cousin you have, you sleep strangely little, and your mind tends to come alive in the evening, right around the time a fire would have been burning. That isn't a habit you picked up. That's a setting from the campfire, still loaded into you. Your body remembers what your mind has forgotten. And yet pushing the predators back was only the beginning. Because once a creature stops being afraid of fire, it stops using fire only to hide. Soon your ancestors would stop waiting inside the circle of light and start carrying the flame out into the dark on purpose. But this is where the story turns completely. Picture a whole valley at dusk, A herd of antelope grazing in the open, calm, alert, faster than any human who ever lived. For 2 million years, a scene like that was a wall your ancestors couldn't break. They couldn't outrun it, they couldn't outmuscle it, they couldn't even get close before it scattered. So they did something no other predator on Earth had ever done. They set the world on fire. A line of flame laid across dry grass becomes a moving wall of heat and smoke, and everything alive flees in front of it in blind panic. And the hunters already knew where that panic would lead. They burned the land in a shape, leaving one narrow gap of unburned ground, a single escape route, and at the end of it a cliff, a swamp, a line of waiting spears. This wasn't a campfire anymore. This was fire turned into a weapon that could move an entire herd at once. Native peoples were still doing exactly this when written history began, driving deer, elk, and bison into kill zones with walls of flame, and the evidence for deliberate landscape burning runs back tens of thousands of years, far older than farming. Think about what that meant for every other animal. The slow, soft creature they used to hunt in the dark could now reach across an entire valley and decide which way the herd would run. A wolf chases one animal at a time. Your ancestors moved hundreds at once, and the land itself did the chasing. The leopard that once stalked them now ran from the same smoke they were steering. The mammoth that could crush them fled toward the spears. For the first time, the most dangerous thing on the savanna wasn't the thing with the biggest teeth. It was the thin, clever animal holding a torch. The one creature that had learned to make the whole world burn on command. And here's the strangest part. While your ancestors were busy turning fire on the outside world, fire was quietly turning on them. The same flames that drove herds toward the spears also cooked the meat at the end of the day, and cooked food gave back more energy for less work. As the Harvard biologist Richard Wrangham has argued, over countless generations that richer diet let the gut shrink and the hungry brain grow, until the creature holding the torch grew smart enough to plan the burn at all. So look at what fire really did. On the outside, it handed a soft, slow animal the power to move whole herds and push every predator back. On the inside, it reached into the body and rebuilt it from the gut up. Your body doesn't know about any of that. It only knows it can't go back. The thing they caught at the edge of a dying fire didn't just make them the most feared animal alive. It made them an animal that could never let the fire die again. Tonight, somewhere, a person will sit and watch a flame. A candle, a stove, a fire in a yard. And something old will settle in them, a quiet they can't quite explain, the same calm their ancestors felt with their backs to the dark. The animals still run from the fire. You are the one creature that learned to sit beside it, to keep it alive when it could have died, to carry it down through 2 million years, until it became part of what you are. Every other animal fears the flame. You took it home and never let go.